The movie kicks off by introducing Michael Newman, an architect juggling a demanding career and his family life. His wife, Donna, and their two kids, Samantha and Ben, mean the world to him, but his job keeps him constantly busy. His boss, John Emmer, piles work on his shoulders, leaving Michael with almost no time for his family. The only moments he gets with his kids are short mornings before work when they sit together watching Dragon Tales. At work, John presents Michael with a career-changing opportunity. If he can design a luxury hotel for a Japanese client and they buy it, Michael will be promoted to partner. It's a massive chance, so Michael accepts without hesitation. But then he remembers he had promised his family a camping trip. He's already late for Ben's swim practice, and when he finally shows up, he embarrassingly mistakes another kid for his son before realizing that the boy is Asian. Michael also meets Bill, Ben's swimming coach, charming, athletic, and great with the kids, which instantly sparks a bit of jealousy in him. A few days later, during the 4th of July celebrations, Michael's glued to his phone talking to his boss while his family watches fireworks without him. His mom, Trudy, gets frustrated and warns him that if he keeps overworking and living on junk food, he's going to die young. Later that night, Michael and Donna argue when he tells her they'll need to postpone their camping plans because of work. He eventually calms her down and starts preparing for his new project by watching documentaries about Asian architecture. But while he's working, he accidentally grabs Ben's toy helicopter remote instead of the TV remote and ends up hitting himself out of frustration. Annoyed, Michael decides to buy a universal remote to avoid these mix-ups. He heads to Bed Bath & Beyond, searches everywhere, and even falls onto a display mattress in exhaustion. That's when he notices a strange section of the store labeled Beyond. Curious, he steps inside and meets a mysterious man named Morty. Michael asks Morty about a universal remote, and Morty leads him into a massive warehouse called Way Beyond. There, he hands Michael an unusual-looking remote, completely free of charge. Morty tells him it's self-programming, meaning it'll adapt to his life automatically. When Michael asks why it's free, Morty simply says, "Good guys deserve a break sometimes," and adds that it's refundable, even though he didn't pay for it. A bit sketchy, but Michael takes it anyway. Back home, Michael goes back to work while his dog, Sundance, starts barking nonstop to go outside. Annoyed, Michael points the remote at the dog and presses the volume down button, and shockingly, it works. The dog is barking, but there's no sound. Michael assumes he's hallucinating. When he takes Sundance out, the dog takes forever to finish, so Michael tries fast-forwarding with the remote, and suddenly, he's back inside. Walk completed. He realizes the remote actually works, it controls reality. The next morning, he experiments by rewinding time. He watches himself as a kid playing football with his friends, and even rewinds all the way back to the moment he was conceived. Yeah, awkward. From then on, Michael starts abusing the remote, fast-forwarding through boring dinners, arguments, and even sex. After one of these skips, Donna complains that he was too quick and didn't satisfy her like before. Michael is confused since he doesn't remember anything that happened during dinner or afterwards. He calls Morty for answers, and Morty explains that when Michael fast-forwards, his body acts on autopilot, living through those skipped moments, but his mind jumps past them. Curious, Michael uses the remote for all sorts of things, skipping colds, cold showers, traffic, and even changing his skin tone or speaking other languages. He even pranks his boss by making him appear fatter. Later, when he's pitching his hotel design to Japanese investors, things seem to go smoothly, until John, his boss, accidentally insults the clients by mixing up Japanese baseball player names with Asian dishes. The clients step aside to talk privately, and Michael secretly uses the remote to eavesdrop, translating their conversation and turning up the volume. He hears them mocking his design, calling it a copy of a bad Asian documentary, and saying they want more rooms for profit instead of a decorative river in the lobby. Thinking fast, Michael uses what he overheard to tweak his pitch. When the clients return, he agrees with their suggestions, jokes about doing jello shots with them, and manages to close the deal. Excited, he returns home, buys gifts for his wife and kids, and proudly tells them the good news. But the next day, his boss crushes his excitement. The promotion isn't his yet. He needs to refine the design again, get final approval, and wait a few more months. Furious, Michael pauses time, farts in John's face, and walks out. Now fed up with waiting, he considers skipping ahead in time until he gets his promotion. He checks in with Morty, who tells him a weird story about a leprechaun in a cereal commercial who keeps chasing the rainbow, only to find plain cornflakes at the end. Michael doesn't get the lesson, but decides to skip anyway. When he fast-forwards, a full year passes. His career has advanced, he's finally promoted, but his personal life has completely crumbled. His marriage has deteriorated, he and Donna are in therapy, his kids are older and distant, and even their dog has died. Devastated, Michael promises Donna he'll change and be a better husband. They make up and kiss, but the remote automatically skips ahead again, post-intimacy, and Donna is once again disappointed. Michael is confused, he didn't press fast forward this time. Morty explains that since Michael used the remote to skip similar moments before, it now learns his behavior and automatically skips those parts of his life: showers, illnesses, traffic, even sex. Realizing how badly he's messed up, Michael tries to give the remote back to Morty, but it reappears in his hand every time he throws it away or destroys it. The next morning, Michael rides his bike to work and showered, just to avoid triggering another automatic fast-forward. When he arrives, his boss drops big news. He's planning to retire and travel the world, starting with Morocco. That means Michael will soon be promoted to head of the department, and possibly even CEO one day. Before he can even process the news, the remote suddenly skips again, 10 whole years into the future. Now Michael's the CEO, filthy rich, and extremely overweight. When he gets home, he's shocked to see how much has changed. Ben and Samantha are now teenagers. Ben's become overweight just like him, and Samantha has a boyfriend, but the biggest shock: Donna has divorced him, and is now dating none other than Bill, Ben's old swimming coach. Furious and jealous, Michael picks a fight with Bill, but during the chaos, their dog jumps on him, causing him to slam his head against a wall and fall unconscious. 6 years pass in an instant. Michael wakes up in a hospital bed, Donna by his side. She explains that after his accident, doctors discovered cancer in his body. He's been in treatment for years, but he survived. However, he also suffered a heart attack during recovery. At least now, he's no longer obese. Back at work, Michael runs into his son Ben again, now an adult, fit, and running the company himself. Michael suggests they take the whole family, including Samantha and their grandparents, out for ice cream. But then he learns something heartbreaking: his father has passed away. Crushed with guilt, Michael visits his father's grave and uses the remote to rewind time, back to the last moment they were together. He watches as his father came to his office, asking if they could grab dinner. Just him, Michael, and Ben, but Michael, too busy and frustrated, barely looked up from his work. He yelled at his dad until he finally left, holding back tears. Seeing that moment again breaks Michael. He collapses, overcome with guilt and regret. Out of nowhere, Morty appears. He tells Michael that he's sorry for his father's death. Confused and angry, Michael demands to know how he could say that, and Morty calmly reveals the truth: he's not just some quirky store clerk. He's the angel of death. Horrified, Michael attacks him, but of course, it's useless. You can't fight death itself. Desperate, Michael begs for one last chance to fix things. The remote activates again, and he's suddenly fast-forwarded several years ahead, to Ben's wedding. At the ceremony, Michael sees his mother again, now older and frail. He also meets his grown-up daughter, who introduces her stepfather Bill as Dad. The shock and sadness hit him all over again. Moments later, Michael suffers another heart attack. He wakes up in the hospital that night, weak but surrounded by Ben and Samantha. Ben tells him he's postponing his honeymoon because of an urgent business deal. Hearing that, Michael realizes his son is repeating the same mistakes he did. Despite his condition, Michael gets out of bed, following Ben and Samantha into the rain. He collapses outside, his heart failing. Struggling to breathe, he uses his last words to tell Ben, family always comes first. He apologizes to Samantha for never being there when she needed him, and turns to Donna to say, I'll always love you. Then, Michael dies. But suddenly, he wakes up. He's back inside Bed Bath & Beyond. Everything that happened was just a dream. Overwhelmed with relief, he leaves the store, thrilled to see his old car again. When he gets home, He hugs Donna and the kids tightly, promising to never take them for granted again. Then, on the counter, he spots the same strange remote. With a note from Morty that reads, "Good guys need a break every now and then. Here's your second chance." Michael smiles, throws the remote in the trash, and it doesn't come back. The story closes with a touching reminder about appreciating life and family, no matter how tempting shortcuts might seem. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more movie summaries.